Hello, everybody.
Hey, how you guys doing? And you know what time it is, right?
What time is it?
It's time for another Otter Creek meeting. Ugh.
You're so excited you can't even speak.
I know, right?
Oh. So we are coming up on Tuesday. Well, it is Tuesday. And tonight will be the meeting at 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to be a pretty good meeting.
It should be pretty clean. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've got the agenda, and we're going to talk about that. I think as we've been seeing, everything is running in the right direction without all the arguing and chaos, and having the right people on the board who are looking to do good things and not just there to fight. So that's really nice. And it's nice seeing the people in the community attending and getting involved. Those were things that have been long overdue, and it's what the town needs.
Yeah, and Zim called the other day just to let me know that he has a soft opening coming up. Labor Day weekend, I believe it was.
On his RV park?
Yeah, and then he talked about, and then I asked him a question. I said, how'd the workshop go the other day? He had a workshop a week or so ago. Did everybody show up? How did it go? Did you get everything done? And he said, yeah, everybody showed up. And Laura was participative, and that's good. And
I'm glad to hear that. It's really what the town needs. I heard they were working on the animal control issues.
Yeah, he had mentioned they got an animal control resolution, so maybe that'll come before us for a vote. They got something written up, and I think he said they have a couple of ordinances written up, so we'll see.
All the voting has to be done in meetings, but the workshops are really important, especially for Otter Creek, because surrounding towns have 2 meetings a month. It's hard to get the necessary work done in just one meeting. So having a workshop and a meeting once a month is perfect. And I'm so glad that people are attending and contributing. It's absolutely what the town needs to come together, because they have so much to work on. As you know, all the ordinances are way out of date. So they've got a lot of work ahead of them. And when you pass the ordinances and resolutions, it doesn't just happen like that. You have to write them. You have to advertise them. There has to be votes by the board. So it's a process. So they absolutely need those workshops. And I'm super stoked that they're actually doing that now. I congratulate all the board members and all the hard work that Belinda does in there every day. She really cares about the town. So it warms my heart to see things going in that direction.
Yeah, if they didn't have Belinda, where would they be?
I don't know, because
who would they have to rely on?
She does so much because she cares about the town, and you can see it in the things she does and the smile she wears.
They don't need the money. It's not about the money at all.
Right.
So she does it because she cares and because she knows there's no one else.
Right.
The town would fall back into disarray again.
She's a definite asset for the town.
We definitely need Belinda.
I'm always thankful for her. I'm sad that when we were down there, I didn't get the chance to see her because she was taking care of family things and she was out of town. So I only got to talk to her through text. So
she was out of town while we were in town.
Yeah, I didn't get to see my Ninja.
And now we're out of town and she's back in town.
Yeah.
Belinda Ninja.
You know, one day our paths will cross again. They always do. Good people stay in touch, and we can always text and call on the phone.
That's right.
But I wasn't able to give her a hug.
Just a couple states away.
That's right. So anyway, getting into the agenda, it starts out as usual with the mayor calling the meeting to order, doing the pledge, doing the roll call, which the roll call is important so they can have on record who is there. And it makes it easier for the minutes when everything is audible. Because I know in the past, you would get people just raising their hands or not saying anything, and it's like you
It's
got to,
hard to transcribe that to the minutes.
yeah, you got to poke them, and it's like, come on, pay attention. We're trying to do some adult things here and get a meeting done. So it's super great that they have the roll call like that on there. Then, of course, the next thing will be the approval of the agenda. And at that time, if there's anything that they need to add into the agenda, they can do that before approving it, because sometimes stuff happens at the last minute that you need to add in there. So we'll see if anything gets added in. And then they'll be doing the approval of the minutes from the July 16th meeting, which, again, there should be no issues, and all the headbutting shouldn't be there anymore. So
Right. It should be a nice, boring meeting.
right, I'm thankful for that, and I cheer them all on. It's very nice to see.
Yep.
Just like in that recent Chiefland meeting, I know a lot of people commented, and I said the same thing, how wonderful it was to see everybody respectful of each other and working together, and that's what an actual board meeting should look like. Mm-hmm. So now Otter Creek can start having some similar meetings like that.
Exactly right.
So, and the next big thing is Palin Jones will be there to give the presentation on the 2022-2023 audit. So I know on time, actually, I think ahead of time, Belinda worked very hard. And I want to say that if that's one of the first times everything's been done ahead of time.
With no fines and penalties.
Yes, because that was a huge problem in the past. The town gets fined when these things are late. And no one seemed to care about that.
And they never mention those fines.
No, so the people didn't even know.
So they don't even know about
it. There was no sunshine or transparency on all that happening with the fining. Mm-hmm. And when I came in, I saw that, and they lose some of the revenues that's coming from the state. And the more it happens, the more fines you'll get.
They really can't afford that.
Not at all. Because once again, this town, a small town, the budget to do things with code enforcement and all the things they should have and don't have is very expensive. Mm-hmm. So they can't afford to be wasting money on fines.
And a majority of the town doesn't pay any taxes.
Right.
Because each resident or each state resident gets a $25,000 credit, or let me see how you explain it. It's a $25 credit per person. So let's say you have a married household. Just don't count kids. A married household with a couple of two. You have a $50,000 homestead deduction. So if your house is not even worth $50,000, your tax is zero. You're taxed on the amount over that $50,000. And quite frankly, there's not that many homes in Otter Creek that are valued over $50,000. So those are the people paying all the taxes.
That was also one of the huge things they were talking about, a challenge in Chiefland while we were at that meeting, because they have the similar problem where they're not collecting enough off the taxes. And it's hard to run your city without that tax money. You have so many things you have to take care of. The streets, you have flooding issues. Like, there's just so many things that a lot of people don't even think about. But if you don't have the revenues to do it, then what?
And every year your police department, your fire department need more money for training and more people. And of course, Otter Creek can't even stand up a police department because they don't have the funds to do it.
And they need one so bad.
I really would love to see, and it only makes sense, I would love to see the town try to put on the next ballot to unincorporate. Because then the county would have to provide all those services free of charge. You're already paying taxes for it. Let them cover it, and then you're done. You're done with these boards too. You don't have all this infighting that's up to when you took over. So yeah, I think the town should unincorporate. They just don't have enough people. Now in the future they could reincorporate if they were to get another 300 residents or something. But I think they're a ways off from that, and the residents would save money because you wouldn't be paying a town tax, because there is no town. You're unincorporated. You still have a town name, but you're unincorporated, you don't collect tax from that.
I remember when we were driving here, I forget what it was, a surrounding town.
Oh yeah,
Somewhere there were
really
signs,
small town.
vote no to incorporate.
Yeah.
So the people were very
Yeah, they
against
know. They know.
incorporating their town.
Yeah,
So I just chuckled when I saw that because of all the back and forth in Otter Creek with that issue. Oh,
but that's out of our hands, but that's still what we think, and that's still our opinion.
you know, and as far as the Powell and Jones audit goes, I do believe we shouldn't be hearing anything out of the way as we have in the past. Everything should be good. And we have to remember, too, if it wasn't for the Powell and Jones audit, we would have never found out about that money that was
$7,500 that Russell misappropriated and took out of the wrong budget, and they had to put it back.
right. And that's why it's so important to have that audit for the transparency, to make sure nothing that shouldn't be happening is happening. So that came to light with that, because you can't just go playing around with things.
Yeah.
I mean, you still probably could, but it'd be much harder, I would think. And eventually everything comes out in the wash at some point. So it's very important, and we should be getting a good report from them. I'm sure they're going to be giving kudos to Belinda and how much easier it was to work with her versus having to work with Mary in the past, because Belinda is a lot more organized.
She's a lot smarter than Mary.
And there's just no comparison between them two. Belinda
Mary
is
didn't set the bar very high.
absolutely stellar, and I'm sure they have a great working relationship with Belinda. So that was probably great for them as well. Now, the next thing is the old business, reading the resolution for the festival.
Oh,
That's coming up quick.
it is. It
Really?
doesn't take long. When you have one meeting a month, you only got like a couple more shots at it.
Right. So they're going to be reading the resolution. I'm hoping that they'll talk more about the different aspects and some solutions to possible problems going on.
With security, we were just informed, as many of you were as well, that John just got out of jail.
Released on his own recognizance, which isn't
after he had
crazy. It's
after
insane.
he had what, a $750,000 bond. Now it's zero.
That's completely insane
That's
to
weird.
me. Like,
That's
odd.
weird.
It's odd.
Why did the judge go back 30 days later and say, "Oh, $750,000 bond? Never mind. We'll just let him go."
You think it's because he gave lice to everybody in the jail?
Yeah, it could be. They don't want him in there because lice is everywhere. I don't know.
I heard that's why he got that buzz cut.
Oh, it could be. Hey, I like your haircut. You're out.
But I couldn't believe when I read that earlier.
We're watching that closely.
So I know a lot of people are alarmed. I've had people emailing me about it, and it's raising a lot of alarm as to how and why, and are they insane? What's going on?
Did they drop some charges?
So people are asking me those, what is going on, and aren't more people in Otter Creek going to be fearing for their safety? And again, a lot of people are in fear for Harley. So as I continue to urge everybody to pray over this situation, but it brings up for the festival, once again, the huge security issues. And so far, we haven't really heard anybody addressing that in the meetings. I know Laura Mott is supposed to be the one in charge of public safety, so she should be the one talking about that at the meeting. So I know if I was attending, that would be a question that I would have for Laura, is exactly what she plans on doing. And that's another reason that we have not made the commitment to go. We still don't know if we're going to go or not, because safety is a huge issue.
Yeah.
And as you've seen, Levy County Sheriff's Office is not doing much for this, or doing anything for this.
It looks like the judicial system is doing even less.
So that worries me even more. So I still can't say whether we're going to the festival or not. Then the other things that I would hope that they'll be talking about is parking. That's been another huge thing where you're going to put all these people. And you were saying that you heard they were going to be possibly doubling the vendors to 100.
I don't know where they're going to put 50 vendors is the number I heard. And now they're talking about 100 vendors. I don't know where they're going to put 50. To be honest, they just don't have the space. They're going to put them down the street, in the middle of the street.
So there's a lot of details that we still have yet to hear. And I'm hoping again during the meeting that they get a bit more into it because we're getting pretty close. After this meeting, there should only be 2 more meetings before the festival occurs. Mm-hmm. And who's
supporting these vendors? I mean, I'm not against the idea of having a festival. I think it's good.
Right. I mean, I want it to be successful.
Honestly, I think it's a little soon. I don't think they're ready for it. But, okay, there's going to be a festival. Okay, we got a festival going on. All right, so who's going to be going to this festival? It can't be just solely all of, the fans of What the Hales.
I honestly don't know.
It's got to be more local, stuff going on because the town's not going to spend any money on that stuff.
I would assume, and I know Travis has put a lot of work into it.
And he's very good at it.
He is very good at it, and I applaud Travis for everything he's doing for the town. Yeah. I do hope it's a great success, but I do also hope that the town is really on board and helping Travis because I don't want to think that Travis is pulling the whole show himself. He needs help. Yeah. And he's taken on a lot and he's a great person. So we appreciate him and his efforts and I'm sure he's going to make it a success.
I wonder if he's going to call in the rescue squad.
I don't know.
Come save our festival.
What else haven't they talked about much? Well, they got the garbage issues.
The dogs are still running around rampant. So
I've
heard through the grapevine that there might be some type of dog ordinance.
Hopefully, but they have to. With every ordinance, you also have to have enforcement.
Yeah,
you can write ordinances all day long, but if you don't have any enforcement in place, it's just a piece of paper with some ink.
Right.
So
Dawn.
Hopefully they maybe get a dog catcher to go through there and make a sweep of the town before the festival.
I know 3
dogs
that are a common problem. You got Heather's animals. There's 2 pit bulls that lay out in the road all the time.
She got arrested, I heard.
Okay. So her dogs are on the loose now, like really on the loose. I don't know.
I don't know what's going on.
So
and
she's got 2 pit bulls over there in the curve that are real close to 24. They haven't been hit yet. They probably will be hit.
Shameful.
And it is. It's ridiculous. Irresponsible. Don has a dog that'll nip at your heels if you turn your back to it. And he runs around the whole town.
Yes.
And he doesn't care about his dog. And then the maintenance guy, Richard, his dog follows him around too and goes everywhere. So these dogs are not contained to their property. They're irresponsible owners, and something needs to be done about it. I'm not suggesting you need to shoot them, but maybe corral them up and take them to the animal center.
I mean, it'd be super nice if the people that own them would just keep them in the house and the problem would be solved.
Maybe after they get fined a couple times and to get them out, maybe they'll stop. Maybe they'll start taking care of it. Why do the citizens have to do the work?
Right.
Police
the owner should just take care of the problem and boom, it's solved. That's another huge thing. I'm imagining they're going to have some porta potties.
Oh, yeah.
But like I said, I'm really, really hoping to hear a lot more detail because we won't be able to make a decision about going until we hear a lot more detail. Because as it sits right now, there's a lot of unknown, unsafe factors. And even just being there recently and what we've had to deal with, that takes its toll on you emotionally. It's very stressful when you have to fear of what's going on when you have mental people that have pew-pews. And, it was a lot of praying to God, and I'm so thankful that God had our backs while we were there, but you honestly never know what could happen in those situations. It could have all went much worse. but God did have our backs, and I'm grateful. All glory to God for the good things that did happen and come out of our journey there. But again, I hope some people that are in the audience will ask some of these questions if they do not just get addressed off the rip. So, and new business, it's listing that they don't have any new business. Now, like I said, they could add things into the agenda at the beginning of the meeting, so that part could change. I would think they would have new business. There's so much to cover.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of in awe that there's listed as not having anything new. And then you got your department reports, administration, which Belinda does, the maintenance, which Richard will go over, public safety. They've been having Laura Mott handle that. And your building and zoning and water is usually Zim.
Hopefully those filters are online by now.
That would be nice because I don't even know how long it's been. It's been quite a while.
Russell's cost the town a lot of money.
He certainly has.
That's a whole year of undrinkable water.
Everybody deserves to have good water.
His decisions are poisoning everybody.
Yeah.
I think he should be liable for that.
You would think. If he spent a little bit more time doing things to help other people, that would be great. Or even just stay home and don't do anything.
That's the best thing, because from what I've heard and seen, he has never done anything for someone else.
Right. So, yeah, some people, it would just be best if they stayed home. There's a couple of those.
Yeah.
And then after you get through that, you have your announcements, which of course, the children's table, which is there twice a month. They'll be there August 16th. Well, that already happened. And August 30th. And then you have the Wakasasa water and wastewater meeting. Wakasasa. Waka, waka, waka. That will be held on Thursday. This Thursday, the 22nd at 1 p.m. And they'll be doing it in Bronson this time. They do a rotation between Bronson, Cedar Key, and Otter Creek. So this one will be in Bronson, and it's open to everybody to attend. I know Bronson also does their meetings on YouTube.
They do.
So I would assume that water meeting will be broadcast on the YouTube channel.
So you can look for it there.
Right. So anybody who's interested in tuning in, it should be on there. Don't quote me 100%, but I don't see any reason why they wouldn't broadcast that meeting as well. So it's something interesting to keep track of.
Yep.
And again, that's at 1 o'clock. And if you want to attend, you're more than welcome to. It's open to the public, of course. And the next Otter Creek workshop, they're going to be doing one a month from what I'm understanding, which again is wonderful.
Yeah.
And that's going to be held on Tuesday, September 3rd at 7 p.m. That is also open to the public. Anybody can attend, but I don't believe that you're allowed to interact. I mean,
you can watch it.
You can watch interact. It, but I don't know.
We don't know how formal, informal Zim is running that.
Different towns do it differently.
So,
I know there's no voting going on during it, but you're more than welcome to go and observe. Workshops are open to the public, complete transparency. And then, of course, after that, you have the public comments where anybody is allowed to speak 3 minutes to the council on any one topic. And they have that the topic needs to pertain to the town and needs to be respectful with no foul language.
Yep.
So I do believe that the topic, again, can be about anything. But of course, it should pertain to the town because that's the whole point.
Yeah.
It's a town hall meeting.
Maybe they'll have some festival questions and security questions.
Yeah, hopefully there will be some great questions so we can learn a few things. since we are not there to ask them, because I know everybody keeps asking, are you guys going to be at the festival? They've been asking if Jeremy and George are going to be at the festival.
We're all kind of taking a wait and see attitude.
Yeah, because security is the number one issue for all of us, especially for Jeremy and George.
Yeah.
But we also want to know that we're going to be safe too, as well as everybody should want to know if they're going to be safe when they attend something.
Correct. Yeah.
And so that's it for the meeting. Later on, we'll have the meeting going on. And then Wednesday, we will do a recap of the meeting. Travis will be at the meeting doing it live. So make sure you tune in to What You Do in Willis. He does a great job and we're thankful. I know everybody's thankful that he records the meetings, goes live. And he really puts a lot of effort into that too, with helping set up with the microphones and having better sound.
He's doing a great job.
So, you know,
we're getting a lot from him, and he doesn't even live in the town.
Yeah, he cares about the town and he cares about people. Yeah. And that's the difference you can see with him versus some other people that don't live in the town that are doing things. He really does care, and you can see that if you're paying attention and you're looking at things the right way. Another thing we're going to do tomorrow, hopefully, well, I don't know that they should have it out. The election is also Tuesday evening.
It is the election. So go, Levy County residents, go out there, do your homework, and vote for
get out there and vote,
sheriff.
Because there's many things up. You have the sheriff in there. You have some different school board members. You have county commissioners. There's a couple seats up for that. You have the clerk of courts. You have Mandy Waters. Vote for Mandy.
Vote for Mandy.
She's running for that.
She actually comes to the Otter Creek meeting sometimes.
Yes.
So she does reach out to the community.
She sure does.
You don't see others doing that.
You also have the property appraiser up, Dale Hart.
Yep.
So
another good choice there.
You know, there's a few people that it would be great if some seats were changed.
Yes.
So and there's some other stuff. I know Kat Kamick is up. Vote for Kat Kamick. And there's a few others. But anyway, if you go on to the Levy County Supervisor of Elections, if you want to see the seats.
They have an example ballot too on the website.
Yeah, I have one floating around here somewhere. But we will again give you the results. I know Britton Drew, he's the candidate for sheriff.
I hope he gets something done.
So Levy County needs some good people making some good changes. So make sure you get in there and get your votes in there, and we'll recap with everybody as to what the results were. If they're up already for when we're doing the recap of the meeting tomorrow on Wednesday, we'll also let you know those election results.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to a lot of good, positive things happening in Otter Creek and Levy County.
Yeah.
And the way these changes and things happen is with the support of the people and the people getting involved. Right. So make sure you do that. As you've seen from the examples, when good people get together, you're the ones that make the change together.
Yep. Good people make things happen.
On local levels, on national levels.
Yeah.
For various different reasons, whether it's helping your neighbor, whether it's helping your town, just do your best to help each other. We are the ones who can make a difference.
Yep. You don't have to carry the load alone.
No.
Everybody does their little part, and then it all gets done.
We are all better together, and we all have different jobs. Mm-hmm. Some are big, some are small. But without each member, it wouldn't work right. So even if your job is just to smile and wave at somebody, don't think that that's not important either. It's just as important.
Yes.
So, and I appreciate you guys spending time with us and hanging out and listening to our views of what's going to be happening at the meeting, and as well as supporting the town of Otter Creek into good things for the future. And I guess we'll be talking to you. Well, we'll be in the chat during the meeting in the live chat. So I hope to talk to some of you there, and then we'll be chatting with you again in tomorrow's video on the recap.
Sounds good. Thank you for joining us today at Madam Mayor's Adventures, where an adventure is right around the corner.
Life is an adventure. Y'all take care of each other and spread the love. Peace.